Hey guys, this is Mark Dowdy. I'd like to do a typical gear review for you. My wife and I are getting ready to take a 1,400 mile walk on the Via Francigena from London to Canterbury and then down to Rome. So it's going to be quite a walk through Europe. It's going to have some specific challenges regarding the fact that it's a year of COVID, so we've got that to deal with in addition to the normal challenges of any big walk, and particularly one in this particular area of northern France. So let's start at the start around the outside of the pack, and I'll show you what I'm bringing with me. So first of all, we're bringing two 700 milliliter bottles of water. So we'll just refill these on the trail. These are little empty smart bottle jugs that we can fill up and obviously replace if we need to along the way. And to that end, we're bringing a water filter. I've never had a need for one throughout Europe, but this particular in the northern area of France can be a little bit dry, so we're going to bring this, a little bit of a safety factor there and avoid some of the issues we having tried to find water in that portion of the trail. Here's some funny items that you wouldn't normally bring on a trail. In Europe, of course, you get the bread that you might buy for lunches and stuff typically is a loaf, like a baguette or something. And I've always struggled, particularly with this pack. It's just a single cylinder pack. It's got the mesh on the back, but there's no other side pockets in place to put it. So when it's raining and you want to protect your food, I thought it'd be nice if there was a long, tall, thin bag. So the folks at ULead actually sent me a sample of what I'm jokingly called, this is my baguette bag. So I'll stuff some bread in there and it just keeps the crumbs down. Obviously very little weight gain to that. So I brought that and one extra for the trip. And I have my open-on knife. It's a great knife used throughout Europe, and you just see it a lot. It's very lightweight. I may have to give this up on the ferry crossing and buy a new one when I'm over there. They might not allow it to come over, but we'll see. A little bit of clothesline rope and just general utility rope that I might use. Let's see what else we have on the back of the pack. Let's go ahead and take care of the mesh pocket. A couple other just minor bags here to put some meat slices and cheese stuff to keep the stink down, because that'll also go inside the pack. For the first time this year, I'm bringing, these are outdoor research, I think they're helium, dry pants, so rain pants. Never brought them before, but with a trip this long and the season we're going to hit rain. We're going to have a week of rain, I bet, and it'd just be miserable without them. So it's a bit extra this year I wouldn't normally bring. This is a rain jacket that we have had now for 3 different Caminos, and it's a Marmot jacket. It's very, very lightweight. Highly recommend them if you can find them anymore. We've waterproofed this a second or third time now, so it really does well as armpit zips, that kind of stuff. And this is a bit of a funny item. It's actually a chum bag you use for fishing, and it's just a really lightweight mesh bag. We use this to carry laundry in. And going out to a market and picking up fresh fruit and stuff, carry it home. They don't give you plastic bags quite often throughout Europe, so bring your own little mesh bag. Weighs nothing. General utility thing you can use anywhere. You probably can't see it, but all around my bag there's some safety pins, and we use those to hang up our stuff on the outside of the pack and let it dry if it doesn't dry overnight. And a couple of reusable zip ties here. You can release them and put them back on to tie dirty shoes outside your pack, so you don't have to get them all messy on the inside. A couple little items. The symbol of the Via Francigena, or the symbol of Rome, really, are the keys, St. Peter's keys. So we're bringing some keys just for just kind of a souvenir type of thing. And this little patch here is from the Confraternity of Pilgrims to Rome, organization run out of the UK that I joined to help those folks out and promote the trail. That's my little symbol for hiking. One last thing on the outside is we call it our snot rag. It's just wipe away sweat, general kind of microfiber towel that we stuff around, keep it close. One thing that just fell down, excuse me, is our black diamond carbon fiber poles. My wife and I each bring one pole. I did modify this. The camera that you're seeing that this is shot on is actually an Insta3D. It's kind of like a GoPro. It's got a lot of advantages over the GoPro in my opinion, but that's up for debate for everyone else, I guess. It comes with a little selfie stick kind of thing, so you can take cool 3D shots. I didn't want to bring a separate stick, so I actually just modified my pole I bought some little threaded inserts, chopped off the end of the pole, and cemented this in here with a little cork washer. So I can just thread this right on the bottom of the camera, and I use my hiking pole as a selfie stick. No sense doubling up on the weight, right? And that being at this end helps keep it out of the mud and stuff. I think that's it with the stick. On the outside of the pack, there's only one other thing to show you, and that would be the belt system here. This is a Z-Packs Arcol 62 liter. Their liter measurements are different than everybody else's, so it's not nearly as big as some other 62 liter packs. Don't get me wrong, but it's probably more than I need as far as size. But I'm carrying some of the bulkier items between my wife and I, so it's working out all right. And I'll be carrying all the food, for example. I've bought a little side pouch to go with it as an accessory. In this side pouch, I'm bringing the little stopper for the hiking pole for when we're walking on pavement. I'm not sure if I'm bringing this. It's actually just a little pouch that has a couple of macro lenses on it. One thing that the GoPro cameras don't typically do well is take macro images with lots of depth of field. May or may not bring that. Still waiting to decide. I have less than 24 hours to decide. This is a buff, Z-Packs buff actually, and we'll use this as my mask when I'm walking through Europe during COVID. I may have to have a paper mask underneath, we'll see, but also ear protection, keep your head warm, keep your neck warm as we get into the colder climates. Part of this trail crosses the Alps, and we could have snow, we have no idea. So depending on the exact weather, we'll be kind of on the edge there. Charge cable. And in the front, this is another accessory. It's called FUPA, a front utility pack. And strapped onto my bottom of the pack is actually just extra strap. I don't know if you can see that. And you can take that off, hook it to the FUPA, and it becomes just like a fanny pack kind of thing. You can wear it around your chest. Once you drop off your pack and you want to walk around town to tour the town, that's where I'm going to carry off everything that's important. So it just unclips from the pack. But inside that, I'll carry battery for the camera, extra battery for the camera, cell phone for both GPS and vlogging, communication, that kind of thing. Some lip glue lens cap for the camera, a silicone lens cap. This is a Ulanzi, I modified it, but it's a Ulanzi cage for the camera so that you can hook it onto the selfie stick and take those cool pictures. This is the alternate lens for the lenses I showed you before. This would allow those others to screw onto it. May or may not take that. These two little clips are just to hook it onto the selfie stick. So they come along with it. This is the 360 lens itself with its cap. See, it has lenses on both sides, sort of a standard 360, gives you a 360 image. Produce some cool effects. Some Oriamo earbuds. We're listening to music along the way. And the last thing in here is sort of my important documents. I have I have both of our passports located here. Inside the passport is a credit card. We're going to keep them separate, but credit card, it's really a debit card. It'll have all of our money for the trip. These are Pilgrim passports. If you don't know about Pilgrim passports, when you're walking a Camino in Spain or this route in the Via Francigena, a tradition is to collect a stamp from every place you go. It's kind of a cool souvenir when you get done. But when you get to the final destination, Rome or Santiago, you present this as evidence of your pilgrimage. It's kind of nice, really cool souvenir. And last two items, looks like a credit card. It's actually a micro SD card holder. I'm bringing 20 of these suckers so I can record lots of video and not have to worry too much about uploading. I just don't want to spend a lot of time waiting around for a Wi-Fi signal, so I'm trying to bring enough to actually take me through the whole trip. So there we go. That's everything on the outside of the pack, folks. So let's move over to the inside. Up top here, you'll see a foam cylinder. What on earth is this? I've been having some back trouble, and it started almost a year ago, and after some chiropractic and physical therapy, none of that really helped, and somehow we had this foam cylinder. I think it was from a surgery or something, but I started putting this behind my back, actually vertically, right along the spine, and sleeping with it. It's really soft, and sitting with it, and that cured me. So I call this my cylinder of life. It's a bit of a joke, but I may not be able to take this. I may not survive the trail. It's really lightweight foam, and it's not waterproof. So yeah, it'd be a sponge. It could weigh a ton if it gets wet. but we'll see what I'm going to do with that. I'm just bringing it along mostly for the flight over. I just don't want to have a hurt back before I get there. One of the things we have to do is actually quarantine for 10 days. Unfortunately, I've got my second cousin in England that's going to host us, which is really, really kind of her. She's actually going to walk with us the first 10 days, I think, in England. So that's going to be great. Got my Tilly hat here, a little Santiago pin for my 2 Caminos in Spain, and an Ichthus on the back for my memorabilia, I guess. I'm bringing 2 pairs of shoes. Now, they won't both be my pack, but I put them in here for this demonstration. I have a pair of trail runners. These are Brooks. These are Gore-Tex lines, so they're my waterproof trail runners. Nice lightweight shoe there. We'll probably end up having to buy 1 more pair along the way. Shoes are typically good for about 500 miles, and this is 1,400. So I don't know if we'll be able to get away with that. I'll show you this in a moment. Let me get the other shoes out. There's the other Brooks. The other pair I'm bringing is actually a Hoka. So it's a Speedgoat 4. And these are not waterproof, really, really comfortable, squishy. They're probably not durable enough they're certainly not durable enough to make it the whole way, but they're really comfortable. So not bringing boots. I sort of have gone off boots now, like most people have, to be honest. So you just don't need them on this type of trail anyway. So most of these bags you're going to see now are this sort of generic gray color. This is a Z-Packs waterproof bag, and the backpack itself is highly water resistant. You probably don't need this, but this is electronics. So I'll put my cell phone when it rains, that kind of thing. In here I've got a adapter for the UK. I can toss that after the first 10 days. I have a little miniature flashlight, and this was kind of fun, just a little quick charger, nothing special about that, but instead of buying a US quick charger and then having to have an adapter for the EU, I just bought an EU version, so we spend most of our time in the EU, so there you go. Won't have to have an adapter for the EU. This is my next day clothes. So this is a pair of clothes, a set of clothes that I will wear the next day on the trail. So it'll just be handy, convenient to segregate it out. This year I'm bringing Darn Tough socks. I've worn them quite a bit before. I've never brought them on a Camino. They are really durable socks, so I hope they will last on this trip as well. I almost always wear ex officio underwear, either that or some merino wool. The merino wool is, in my opinion, more comfortable, but for a trail this long, the merino wool just doesn't hold up, the version that I got. So these ex officio last and last and last, so that'll really work. I have a pair of convertible pants here, so they're shorts that zip off with to become long pants. The make of these are actually Columbia PFG, Performance Fishing Gear pants, and this is the Blood and Guts line. They're really meant as fishing pants. If you get fish blood on them, it washes out really easily or something. But it turns out it's one of the absolute lightest pair of pants that they make that have a real short inseam. And I've got short legs, so if I wear regular inseam pants that go below my knees, I'll look stupid. So there you go. And it's all about fashion on the trail. Nice lightweight, just a generic. I think this is I don't know which one this shirt is. It's an Old Navy, actually. Just an Old Navy lightweight synthetic shirt. Another Z-Packs waterproof bag. Oh, while we have it out, this is my shower kit. So inside the shower kit, this is not waterproof. Why would it be? You have my microfiber towel. I bought on our second Camino after I lost my first one. Left it at an albergue. A bar of soap in a bag. I leave the soap in the bag and just wash with it. That way it doesn't get all messy. I mean, it still gets messy, but I'll pin this on the outside of the backpack once it's wet and let it dry out. If you don't, your soap turns to mush. So it's just a regular bar of soap. I can put another bar in anytime I want. Bar of soap in a bag. This is also my shampoo. I'll shave my head before we go, and so I'll just rub it all over. Deodorant, and a couple things of a really small toothbrush, smallest one, lightest one I could find, a couple tubes of toothpaste. Replenish those as we go. I have my medicines that I take. That's 100 days worth. I got my doctor to actually prescribe lighter weight medicine, believe it or not, and adjust my prescription just to cut some weight down. Sounds crazy, but everything helps, right? So that's another toothpaste. I want to take a minute and talk about Hike Goo. I don't use it, but my wife uses it all the time, and it really saved her on her second communion. The first communion, she had blisters everywhere. So this was kind of her miracle stuff. But it's heavy, and I'm going to help carry some of the stuff for her. That's one thing. Hike Goo, really recommend it. It's great stuff. It's a lubricant for your feet. Keeps you from getting blisters. But I want to give these guys a particular shout out for something very simple. Talk about good customer service. This Hike Goo comes with a cap that's about yay long, and the top kind of falls off, and there's an applicator. It's real nice if you're at home, but when you're hiking, that you get the top falls off the applicator, the Hike Goo everywhere, and the stuff intentionally doesn't wash off in moisture, right? So it can get things quite messy. So I talked to the guys at Foot Kinetics that make this stuff, and I asked them, do you have any other caps? They said no, they didn't have any, but I had a great customer service guy, and he actually went out and researched and found me a cap. I don't know if this is an aftermarket cap or something they had laying around, but there you go, a separate little cap. The little flip top, he said, will be useless because the opening wasn't big enough, but he said just glue that down and then just unscrew it and use the foot glue that way. Oddly enough, it saved a tiny fraction of ounces, which was kind of cool, but it's just what we wanted. And it's that kind of customer service. It really goes a long way. So real shout out to these guys for helping us out and doing something special that they didn't have to do. So that was great. Next item. So this is all the rest of my clothes. So you saw my day one clothes. This is everything else. So, or not day one, but next day clothes. I'm sorry, that's not. This bag is my next day clothes, slightly bigger. So this is everything else in as far as clothing goes. Another pair of underwear, another pair of underwear. So 3 pairs of underwear. This is a pair of sealskin dry socks. I've never brought these on one of our long walks, but this one we will undoubtedly be in extensive periods of rain, just because of the time of year we're going. So I thought I'd give them a try and walk in those. So another pair of the Darn Tough socks that I like so much. On all the other trails, I've taken some Smart Wool socks. I normally buy the real thick ones. I just tried to cut some weight down. I got much thinner ones this time. Love Smart Wool, good brand of sock. Highly recommend them. This is an Under Armour shirt, super duper light. I think this one is 3 ounces total. This is another shirt that is even lighter in weight. I believe this is a Columbia. Actually, no, it's Patagonia. Patagonia. This is the lightest weight shirt I have in my whole system. I think 2.2 ounces. Crazy. Another pair of the exact same, different color zip-off pants. My fingers get really cold. I don't know if it's low circulation, but I'll get like numbness at the tips of my fingers when they get cold. So this year, I'm knowing that we're going over the Alps and we're gonna have some cold weather as we get into October too. Bringing a pair of possum, got the name for their Z-Pax gloves, possum tail. That's right, but they're kind of a fleece glove, so they have a nice long sleeve on them though, so that I like. And because those aren't waterproof, I bought some Mountain Laurel Designs waterproof glove shells. You had to seal them yourself, which was a bit awkward, I guess is what I was saying, but it wasn't a big deal. Just took some, takes patience, and I don't have a lot of that. This is my layer, so an external zip top, long sleeve layer. I've had this for several years. Quick dry. And lastly, my fleece. So this is my double layer. Almost didn't bring both, but I have been, I don't know, it's getting a little bit older. I don't know what it is, but I have gotten a lot colder as we've hiked in the winter than I ever used to. So there's my fleece for those colder evenings. Now to this bag. This bag is my sleeping bag. So that's not all that special. Everybody has bags and sleeping bags. This is a REI sleeping bag. It's a 3-season bag. It's a mummy bag. We've hiked with this a few times, camped out in it a few times. Nice lightweight, sort of standard design. It's good enough for the type of camping we're going to be doing. This bag is another sort of dry bag, but you can imagine we're tenting. one of the things, you set up your tent, you put your sleeping bag in it. So this bag is empty. I will then take my next day clothes, I will put them inside this bag after turning it inside out. And this particular Z-Packs bag is pillow, so it's got a fleece side to it. So you stuff your stuff in there, and now that's your pillow. That's kind of nice. Another lightweight thing. And the last two items are this is sort of my one big luxury item. I probably will regret carrying this as far as weight. It's a Nemo Tensor insulated inflatable mattress, but boy, I've just fallen in love with them. And as I told you, I've had a little bit of back problems, so this is great. It just makes camping comfortable. So, and the only other thing in here is the tent. So this is a Tiger Wall 2 tent. This is a 3-person tent, Tiger Wall 3. This is the fly in the tent. Allison's carrying the poles and the stakes, and that'll be our whole tent system. And I wanted to do the 2-person, but Allison really likes the extra room, and honestly, it is more comfortable. Everybody knows a 2-person tent is for 1 person, but it technically fits 2, but not really. So I think that's everything. I think I may have showed you these. These are just some decorative keys. The symbol of the trip to Rome is are the keys, and that's goes back to St. Peter, who was in the book of Matthew in the Bible was given the keys to the kingdom of Christ. So these keys are kind of a symbol of that pilgrimage. They're a symbol of St. Peter, and I'm going to use these as gifts to hand out to people that may have done something special for us along the way. Hey guys, that's everything. Again, the whole Z-Pack system. I've been pretty pleased with all of the system that we have here. It's pretty lightweight. Total weight, FSO 23.2 pounds. Total weight on my back, the max I could ever carry on my back is 20.5 pounds. So we're pretty pleased with that. Once we go over the Alps, we're going to drop some of the weight. We'll be in areas where we won't be using the tent and the sleeping bag. So I'll go down to 17 pounds for all the trips through Italy. So that'll be minor. It's going to feel awesome. All right, thanks for joining me. I hope you learned something that was helpful. Bye.